Dun, 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 dun. There. All right. I got anybody up in here yet? Anybody? Anybody? Calling anybody for a Friday? I'm all by myself. Oh, hey, Top Dog. How's your Friday going? Mine kind of started out a little rough. Um, Sucks that I wasn't able to get some hours in at work today. Hey, Mimo. There you are. All right. I just spur of the moment and was like, you know what? I got a couple hours to kill before I pick up the kids. Got shot down as far as getting work hours today. So I was like, you know what the hell? We'll do a live, see if anybody's out there bored like me. And I figured, hell, since it's Carbon Fiber Friday, pulled out all my carbon fiber knives and give you my thoughts on that particular material. Hey, there's Grumpy. All right, Grumpy's in the house. Sweet. Here you go, Grumpy. I'll pull it out just for you, sir. What is it? It needs to be a slip joint, and what else in order to be your worst nightmare? Oh, I forget. That shit's funny. Junk. He's saying it's junk. Great. I don't know what your beef is. Well, I know what your beef is. Oh yeah, D2. Thank you. Thank you. If they did in D2 and made it a slip joint, and maybe even just a hair bit smaller, right? That would have really pissed you off, wouldn't it? Right? So yeah, I mean, I know what your beef is with this thing. But so many of us like it and enjoy it. So that's unfortunate that it doesn't fit your fancy, right? All right. So my brain was just not working very well this morning. I went to the hardware store trying to figure out nuts and bolts and washers and trying to get it all black and avoiding going to an automotive store where you pay like twice as much for all that hardware. I was trying to do it at Lowe's for all the points that the exhaust on my motorcycle hooks up at for the support bracket and whatnot. So I was trying to swap out some hardware for that thing, and my brain was just I was struggling. I was straight up having a hard ass time trying to figure out what I needed, the sizes that I needed, the lengths that I need, all that stuff. Um, I got really mad with myself. So forgive me today if I don't remember and throw out every single name of these knives that I have in carbon fiber variations. So um, I will go ahead and I will start off. Uh, do do you have a Harbor Freight available? Yeah, I do, but Harbor Freight doesn't have blackened hardware. They don't have nuts and bolts and washers and stuff blackened. It's all stainless and uh, whatever that other material it is, steel compound that's supposedly a little cheaper uh, than titanium or stainless steel. But anyways, Yeah, I do have Harbor Freight. I go to Harbor Freight way too much. I have gotten better at spending less there. I don't need as much from there as often, but I still go to visit. I still like. Anybody else like to do that? You don't need anything from one of your stores that you commonly go to, but because you haven't been there in a little bit and you're driving by and you have the time, do you still stop in? Or is that just me? Am I am I just that big of a loser that I do that? Or do you guys do that too? Yeah. So it's all gunked up with tape, but here's the SOG Terminus XR with the carbon fiber scales, and this is your more basic carbon fiber. Granted, it's got textured lines etched into it, but yeah, this is your standard square patterned carbon fiber, and that is definitely my least favorite way of carbon fiber is the original, the OG carbon fiber pattern of the squares. Um, yeah, that it's just to me, it's a little too plain, and I'm not big, I'm not that hip with being square. So, but not to say that this isn't an awesome knife. And if you can pick them up on sale like I did this one, I want to say I paid like oh, I forget what I paid. It's got S35 VN steel. It's got your S35 steel. And I want to say I paid like 70 or 80 bucks for it. It was on sale um at Academy Sports at the time, a handful of years ago when I picked it up. Um, deep carry clip, of course, SOG and their freaking SOG on the clip. Boy, do they love throwing plastin that name, that SOG letters all over that damn thing. Here's not this one. Here's one that where they took the that square carbon fiber and improved upon it. I liked this. This actually appealed to me when CRKT did this carbon fiber pattern on this knife. And this is, I want to say it was a Blade HQ exclusive back when Blade HQ wasn't quite as big of dicks as they are now with high prices. And yeah, we won't say too much about that. But yeah, here's the sketch with what was the blade steel on this? Oh, D2. It's D2. But yeah, I liked it when they did this, and I was good with the D2. It was better than 8CR, and the carbon fiber on it looked pretty sick. So that one I like. I like the way they did this. Exactly, Grumpy. That's the way twill carbon fiber should look like. So yeah, I was happy with that one. Here's the Benchmade Mini Freak, and they did pretty decent with that. I was okay with that. I really love that color red that's on this thing. That's a really popping red. It's pretty. I like it. It party. And the mini deep carry clips that they started with on the first versions of the bug out, I love those for the Benchmades, for all my Benchmades. I don't care how big my Benchmade is. I like that shorter clip. It's a good clip. Let's see what's the next one I can show. So those are the more basic carbon fibers versions. And then what did they do? They started doing marbled carbon fiber. Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Which one came first, marbled or shredded? I want to say marbled. I want to say marbled carbon fiber came before shredded carbon fiber. But if y'all disagree, let me know. Let me know. Jog your brain's timeline. What up, brand new American? Yeah, I'm a complete mess today. I was saying that earlier. But yeah, here's the Buck Sprint Pro in the marbled carbon fiber. That's a much brighter red. I loved the way they did the jimping on the spine on this sucker. I thought that was really cool how they did that, and the marbled carbon fiber on this one really came out nice. It has that little pearl type sheen to it as you move it in the light. So love a good marbled carbon fiber. Somebody else who did a really good job, the WE, I want to say Sakshi, if that's how you pronounce it. The WE Sakshi. Or I just totally goofed that up. But yeah, this is a pretty knife. To me, this is a pretty knife. I like the blue accents in the hardware and the liners, and decent deep carry pocket clip, and that blue pivot. Look at that blue pivot. Yeah, this was a pretty sleek and sexy design. I like all the lines on it, the profile of it, and the fuller is definitely enough to reverse flick all down. So yeah, they did good on the carbon fiber on this. I wouldn't say this is quite so much a marbled. I would say this is more of a swirled, or I'm just crazy. But yeah, I would say this is more of a swirled than a marbled. I mean, look, compare it with the Buck here. You tell me, which one is more marbled? I feel like the Buck is more of a marble. It's just a tighter, swirling motion, and to me that makes it more marbled. Where the WE is a little bit softer and smoother of a swirled action. But whatever. I mean, we're getting super nitpicky in this, but they both did. WE and Buck did a fantastic job, I feel, on those two. Yeah, WE sexy. That's right. The next, oh yeah, shredded. We talk about shredded. I actually don't have. Well, no, I do. I retract. This was the first shredded carbon fiber knife that I picked up. If y'all don't know the name of this, I'm trying to remember. The Apus, Kaiser Apus. Titanium with carbon fiber, and what's my blade steel? S35 VM blade steel. Yep. And this is a pretty sweet knife. Not a big knife. Milled pocket clip is freaking fantastic on this sucker. Loved how they did that pocket clip. It carries well, and it's good in and out of the pocket. And of course, the cutout, thumb hole cutout, is done nicely for. It's a smaller knife, so if you have bigger hands, it's a little hard to get it open that way. and it's too slim. Not enough of it coming out to get it with your thumb. I can't get it with my thumb, but it's definitely a great front flipper. Good jumping there. So yeah, can definitely front flip this, which I'm not doing so great today, but most days I do pretty good with it. It's got a nice point, smooth arc to its belly. Great knife, very nice knife. More of a gentleman-esque folder, but the carbon fiber, shredded carbon fiber, came out freaking spot on. That's, to me, this is a good shredded carbon fiber. Then one of the other ones that I picked up that's shredded carbon fiber, which then they started doing, was adding brass or copper or gold, even flakes into it. And this is the Real Steel Sidious, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be wrong. The Sidious, I believe it's the Sidious. I don't know. I don't remember. Like I told you, today's not my day with that. But this has the gold flakes in it, and it was really interesting. This is the first knife that I got that introduced. I don't know if I got the one that has the gold or the brass. It might be brass, but either way, looks pretty freaking sick. I was really ecstatic about that. I was super excited when I got this one. Not the greatest pocket clip. It works, but not the greatest pocket clip. Good blade though. Good amount of belly. Stupid sharp. It's D2 as well. So yeah, I don't know why, but quite a handful of these of my carbon fiber knives have some D2 on them. That's kind of interesting. I never looked or thought about that. Here's a different take, Civivi's take on mixing that shredded carbon fiber, and I know I'm pretty damn positive this one is the gold flakes and not brass. That looks like gold. That gold paper that they decoratively mix in with epoxy and stuff for whatnot. But yeah, this is Civivi's take on a shredded carbon fiber with the added ingredients or materials. So yeah, and this is the Imperium, right? I believe so. And I think it's Nitro V steel. Yeah, Nitro V. This is a great slim profiled knife. Definitely a full size, a usable front choil if you don't have fat fingers, which I don't quite yet have. But yeah, nice deep carry pocket clip. Has a little bit of a gentleman-esque vibe to it with the materials and the blade coating. I believe it's just a black stone wash. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But great slim pocketed knife. And of course, this is polished where this is kind of just rough. I mean, it's not rough like texture rough, but it's not, glassed over type polish where the Civivi here is definitely polished up, silky smooth, with probably more resin to that most outer layer. So yeah, cool knife. Hey, budget guys in here saying hey to Top Dog. Yeah, okay, Grumpy. You and that 5.5, man. Killing me. But yeah, good knife. Then I noticed that, well, I didn't notice, I mean, like, pretty bold. When companies started doing this job right here, this is the copper, and then this is the aluminum, right? Oh, that shit's money. I love the look of these right here. Like, how can you not say that that's, totally awesome? And the way the light goes with them, oh, they're so sick. But this is the Wii Soothsayer, right? Soothsayer. I like this knife. Again, blade shape. I'm all about that blade shape. And that handle scales, those scales are just fucking sick. I love those handle scales. And the bolster lock. Probably my favorite lockup style, especially on the more slimmer and gentlemanly looking knives. Um, and being a lefty, uh, even though I tend to open my knives, I carry my knives. My primary knife gets carried on my right side, and I pull it out with my right hand almost always. Um, well, I mean, I have to pull it out if it's on my right side, but you know what I mean. So I end up using, because technically I'm ambidextrous. I can My penmanship actually, when I write, my penmanship actually looks better if I make the switch and write right-handed. I just, for whatever dumb reason, favor being a lefty for most things that I do. But yeah, so love that knife. And we doing a superb job with that. And then this is the QSP Otter. The Otter, great fifth pocket knife for fellas. I don't. It might be too long for ladies' fifth pockets. It might be their primary pocket carry for the length of it. But yeah, the aluminum, just especially in the light. Awesome job, QSP. They do a good job with their scales too. But again, incorporating carbon fiber as the base, and then incorporating new materials to create some flash. Yes, Grumpy, that's right. Flashy patterns. You said it, sir. Too flashy for me when they started this process. You are a hard fella to please, aren't you? You have, well, you have refined taste. Okay? Well, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll be nice to you. Refined taste. Grumpy has a very refined taste. And then, of course, the stout. And remind me again, because again, my brain's not working like it should today. Who's the OEM for this? Somebody tell me, because I'm being stupid. I kind of gave up on thinking hard today. Oh, yes, Mimo. The man knows what he likes. I I've my taste in as things come out in new um oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Again, it depends on your preference on the way you like your cheesecake. Uh Grumpy's cheesecake was a good bit creamier. Just looking at it from his video on it, his was a bit creamier in texture, from just visual appearance. Of course, he'd have to tell you whether or not it tastes that way. My cheesecake was just a little bit more airy and fluffy and slightly more like a cake, where I would say Grumpy's was definitely more like a smooth, creamy pie-ish cheesecake. Again, the slight differences. it just depends on what you like. I'm willing to bet that both his and mine tasted extremely similar and were. I mean, I know mine was freaking amazing, but I believe I'm willing to believe that Grumpy made a pretty amazingly tasting cheesecake too. It looked good, and he's made them plenty of times before, as have I. So we, I guess we kind of, for the most part, know what we're doing. No, no, that's right, that's right. Yeah, Grumpy did incorporate a sledgehammer. I did that for laughs, of course. I did that for the entertainment aspect. I didn't want my cheesecake video, following up after Grumpy's amazing cheesecake video. Um, yeah, I had to do something. I had to do something to make mine different from his in different ways, not just the fact that he does videos differently than I do my videos, but I also had to do some other things. So, mass faction. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about. I keep jumping back and forth from carbon fiber knives to to what's going on in the chat, and now we're talking about the cheesecakes. But yeah, good to see you, Maddie. I'm probably gonna lose most of y'all here in about 5 minutes to KC starting his live here at 1 o'clock, and he's got Big Red on as a guest, so that's gonna be pretty cool. So I probably won't go for maybe another 20 minutes or so. But yeah, those were all the knives. These guys being a cool new thing, and I really love the marbled and swirly carbon fiber. I feel like that looks just like really freaking classy. If you're feeling ritzy, having the whether it be brass or actual gold in the scales adds a nice, interesting touch. A little bit of flair. Apparently, it's too much for Grumpy. Too much flair. But then you got the a solid shred. Really, really impressed with this front flipper from Kaiser and how tight of a shred. It's almost kind of a more finely shredded carbon fiber that's just very tightly jam packed and compressed. Came out super, super nice. This is probably my favorite shredded mashup. Yeah, really happy with that one. And then more of a standard by Benchmade and the SOG here. Square pattern's just not me. I don't care so much for it. And then I was pleasantly surprised when Blade HQ did this limited edition of the stretch with that carbon fiber, that twilled, and the way it's contoured a little bit gives it a very, very nice look. They did a pretty awesome job with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for talking about carbon fiber. My favorite out of all of that, that's a tough one. Again, it's kind of just like, what am I in the more of the mood for? Again, if I want just classy and sleek and not too flashy, a good marbled is definitely the direction I'm leaning towards. If I want a little bit of pop, I want a little bit of flair. These are where it's at. Having the aluminum or the brass or copper. I like the flakes in there, but not quite as much as this. And if you know me well enough, you can probably guess why. Why would you think? And it's a little more obvious or prominent in the with the aluminum. What does that look like? And what do I love? Topo pattern. I love topo. Being a backpacker, a hiker, and doing a lot of orienteering back in my scouting days. Yeah, I love the topo pattern. So, yeah. Sucking on some root beer candy drops. Those are good. And got my whiskey. Good whiskey. It's the peanut butter. It's the peanut butter. And for the price, this one right here, it's like $15-$16 at my local spot, my go-to spot here in town. But yeah, the Rams Point peanut butter whiskey is like $15-$16 for this bottle. And it's only 70 proof, so it's not super strong stuff. But the flavor just is it's a good peanut butter. It's not an overwhelming peanut butter flavor. So if you're not that big of a peanut butter person, but you do enjoy a Reese's cup every once in a while, then get the Rams Point. You'll be happy with that one, especially for the price. Bologna? What? Is that even a thing? Is that even a thing? Or are you yanking our chains on that one? Bologna cheesecake? Bologna? That might be bologna. Grumpy, damn it. If you do a spam cheesecake, you better bring that shit to Blade Show. A spam cheesecake? That might be awful. Oh, I can't imagine spam. Oh, the last time I had spam was let me see if I know I've got the picture of it. I'm not gonna bother looking for it, but the last time I had spam was in high school. When I was doing for a couple weeks, about 3 weeks out of a summer, I worked at a camp that did a sea kayaking program where we would take a group of about 9 to 14 people, adults and older kids. I think the cutoff age was like 13 or 14. You had to be at least 13 or 14 and pass a swimming test and do the day and a half of training and being able to wet exit and possibly roll your kayak. But yeah, so we would take out a group, about three of us staff members would take a group out down here on the coastline in the intercoastal waterways, the rivers and stuff that lead out to right out to the ocean, and we kayak through those rivers and go across sounds and camp on like barrier islands down here on the south coastal Georgia area between Savannah and Jacksonville, Florida. And yeah, so we'd go for a whole week, for 5 nights. We'd take them out and camp on barrier islands and kayak every freaking day in your big long sea kayaks. And yeah, so somebody brought some freaking spam, like a whole crap ton of it, and that was one of her meals one night for dinner, was spam with a whole bunch of other things. We fried it, and it sucked that we didn't have some bacon, because I would have wrapped the shit out of it with bacon and like drenched it in cheese, because I was not a fan of Spam. I did not like that stuff. Nasty, nasty. Um, sorry for spamming the chat. Mimo. Bobo, what up, man? Yeah, so I hit up Beard of Doom the other day, yesterday, about possibly early next week of us doing that ride and video and tour of infiltrate the Arizona Custom Knife Works down in Florida. He's probably not going to be able to do it next week, so we'll have to probably Wednesday or Thursday, about midweek next week. I'll hit him up again, see how he's doing, and we'll see about the following week in our schedules and availabilities if we can make it happen. Otherwise, it might go another week. I got a busy lifestyle with way too many freaking kids and wife, and Girl Scout cookie sales are wrapping up. The last couple of cookie booths at the Walmarts and the Sam's Clubs and whatnot are finishing up. I got like 2 more weekends of that crap. Tired of being the goddamn chauffeur for that shit. But I'm a team player, so I do my part. And then we're gonna start up with freaking t-ball, and then baseball, and then it'll be spring break week. So I mean, and the wife's trying to work as many hours as she can as a nurse, and I'm like, 1 week I like this week I worked 6 freaking hours this week. On Tuesday. That's all I got. That's all that freaking store gave me. Damn, Lowe's. But I'm trying not to complain as much as I'm complaining. I'm trying not to complain. But it sucks. Retail sucks. I hate working retail. I don't know how anybody functions being a manager, being a store manager, of a retail store these days, from COVID to inflation to supply issues. Just I can't imagine doing that, and having done that for more than a decade. Like, the people who find that fun, enjoy doing that, they're goddamn crazy. They're crazy fools, in my opinion. Good for them. If they're actually enjoying it and having a blast doing it, then whatever. Everybody likes different things, I guess. Thin mints, yes. Thin mints are my favorite, because I keep them in the freezer and then throw them in some cookies and cream ice cream. I just break them in half and jab them into the cookies and cream ice cream, and that's good shit. It's also nice to, if you make iced coffees, throw one in the blender there. Just one is fine. Throw one of those Thin Mints, frozen Thin Mints, in the blender when you make an iced coffee. It's good stuff. Good stuff. What? Need to sit up outside. Got the munchies. Let's see. Is there anything else to talk about? Not really. Like I said, I wasn't going to go too far past 1 o'clock because I didn't want to eat up into to Casey's nice fast with Big Red. He's got Big Red going, so I'm sure some of y'all are already popping in over there. Look at my chair. My chair is slowly sinking right now. I'm slowly going down, ever so slowly. This stupid ass desk chair. Ugh, go back up. I have the worst luck with buying desk chairs. Whether I spend $60 or I spend $180, they all end up being shit. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they do. I can't get a good one to last me more than a year. Just garbage, and I won't spend $300 on them. Backdrop today is Yellowstone. I'm not wearing the cowboy hat because they're wearing the cowboy hats, but yeah, way overpriced blanket at Tractor Supply, $37, whatever the hell it was for this. But the wife is a huge fan of that TV show, Paramount Plus. If you got it, if you don't, there's other ways to get it. If you're brave enough. But yeah, so I got this for her for Valentine's Day. This was her Valentine's gift, and took the whole family out to dinner, and gave her some other sweet things that I can't tell you. But no, it had a good Valentine's Day, a whole family. So what are you talking about? Canadians make great retail workers. They apologize for everything, even if it's not their fault. Well, yeah, I mean, that's with as many Karens as there are out there, and I, living here in Brunswick, Georgia, you have St. Simon's Island and Jekyll Island, which you pretty much almost have to, damn near be a millionaire or be a millionaire to live out there. For more than 5 years, you have to have money or come from money, or make a lot of money. So you get those special peoples that live out there, the ladies, the older ladies, bless their hearts, that again have refined taste. And boy, can they be picky and demanding, and they are just so much fun. Not. But yeah, you have them come into the hardware store, to the local hardware store, whether it be Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. Oh man, they can be fun. They can be fun. Oh, I had listen to this. This shit was funny. Tuesday, my only day that I work this week. Tuesday, I had a very nice lady come in and ask me. I got called over the intercom thing. Customer needs assistance in electrical wire cutting. Wire cutting. So I rush over there, and and this sweet lady, older lady, asked me. She was looking for thin copper wire that was not encased and coated in the plastic sleeves. And so I was trying to figure out what thickness exactly, because customer says thin. It's like, well, how thin? And then it's kind of like, let me see. Ask the question of, what are you using it for, so I make sure that I point you in the right direction and get you the right stuff, because you don't look like an electrician, you don't look like a contractor, so let me make sure that I'm setting you up for success and not letting you down and setting you up for failure, because that's the customer service that I like to provide to people. So she asked, this is a funny bit. So she was explained to me that she needed thin copper wire to wrap around short pieces of dowel rods, little wooden round sticks, dowel rods, wrap the copper around it, and shove it into the ground next to her precious plants so that her plants can grow better as the copper gets positive energy from the sun or whatever, and her makes her plants happier and they grow better because they're more full of positive energy. I did not make this shit up. I'm telling you. And then at the very end of this, and I'm looking at her and I'm just like trying my damnedest to keep a blank face, not laugh, not grin from ear to freaking ear, because this is hilarious to me. And totally bonkers that she adds at the end of this, I saw it on the internet. So yeah, saw it on the internet. Must be true. It must work. Yeah, right. Don't knock it until you try it. So, oh man, I found her some wire that would work, and she was happy as a clam, taking her wire to check out. Bought $16, 100 feet of some nice thin stranded copper wire, bare copper wire. And I wished her the best of luck. So, yeah, she bought like 100 feet of it. So, yeah, oh man. The customers that we get. Those are the moments, the little moments that almost make it worthwhile going there. Because man, these customers. So I'm just hoping that if she sees improvement with these plants, and she makes the connection that the wire, I'm just a little worried she's going to come back and ask for thicker wire that she can wrap herself in before she goes to bed, so that she wakes up in the morning with more positive energy. Could you see that happening? I could totally see that happening. You got mines, copper mines, and see how positive is in there. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I tell you, I put the exhaust. If you didn't see on Instagram my little clip of me throwing my stock exhaust muffler pipe across the yard, it was, if you look close enough, which I think Matisfaction finally caught on, that wasn't I wasn't actually throwing the damn muffler. My subpar video editing stitched together me pretending to throw the muffler but not actually let going of it, with me actually throwing just a section of black PVC pipe that I had floating around. I just spray painted a piece of black PVC pipe that I had laying around and threw that out in the yard rather than that muffler. But yeah, so all for the laugh. So I hope you all appreciated that. If you hadn't seen it, go look at it. I did post a full blown video again. I don't know, yesterday and today, words have been hard. Trying to figure shit out has been harder than normal for me. I don't know what's going on up here. Probably not enough of the good stuff. But yeah, I struggled with that video, and I had already, before I started editing it, I had already sent the the first one that I had purchased, the first muffler that I had ordered off of Amazon that was messed up. Again, if you watch the video, you'll know why it was messed up. But sent that one back, returned, so that I could get my money back for that one, because I had already gone ahead and bought the second one. So yeah, so that video was not the greatest as far as my narrative went. Way too many ums. Some of my sentences didn't quite make complete sense. Yeah, I'm sure I was hard to follow, and it ended up being longer than I wanted it to, than it really needed to be to. So if you just want to hear bits and pieces of it, but there is a good hack that I figured out with those tubes of sealants and stuff, the JB Weld stuff that didn't come with a funnel tipped cap. I was able to use one of your caps off of your Elmer's glue bottles, your wood glue bottles, and your Elmer's glue bottles. That ended up being the right size, and I was able to screw that on pretty damn tight, and it worked. It functioned so that I could get a nice uniform bead of that sealant stuff around the exhaust pipe. Yeah, so I got to ride. I rode the bike this morning with it around. I rode around yesterday with it with a new muffler on it. Sounds good. I'm happy with it. Now there is only one other thing with that bike that I wish was a little bit better, and that's the comfort of the stock seat. So I haven't gotten around to figuring out a solid replacement for that yet, but yeah, that's the only thing left. Other than that, God, I love riding that bike. It is so much fun to ride that bike, and with the new exhaust, the way it sounds now, yes, and how it looks much better. Very, very happy with that bike. But all right, that's all I got from me today for Friday. I'm see most of y'all in other lives in the chats. I'll be poking in and out. I've got some things to do this afternoon. I gotta go get the kids from school in about an hour, and then I've got other stuff to take care of. More little projects, more tinkering things that I want to work on today. But I thought I'd knock out a little over an hour, or about an hour, and have some fun with y'all, and share some good stuff, good times. All right, I'm out of here. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. My weekend is jammed, fucking packed, with events with the family tomorrow and Sunday. So, fuck me. No, a lot of time with family. My brother's coming down. My brother, Mr. Chicken Farmer dude, is coming down from Athens, Georgia, with his wife and his two little girls. That I can't wait for them to give him hell when they're teenagers. He deserves every bit of it. He was a bit of an asshole when he was a teenager, like most of us, right? But yeah, oh, he's gonna get it. But yeah, it's always good to see him. I don't get to see him often enough. So he's coming down this weekend, and then tomorrow night, Monster Jam. My first time ever going to a Monster Jam, and the wife. But we're taking Little Urban to Monster Jam. That's his belated birthday present. His birthday was February 2nd. He turned 6, the big 6. And so, as part of one of his birthday presents, his main present, was that we were taking him to Monster Jam, which is tomorrow night. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. Might have a few short video clips of us having fun down there, and along with some photos. So you'll be seeing that in the Insta of Graham, the Graham Insta. But yeah. All right. I'll see you guys in KC's live. Peace.